Thanks for tuning in. Week 7 of Friday Night Lights is behind us. We'll take a look at week number 8. You're watching the State Farm Sports Update here on Oski News.
Rest easy. State Farm agent Wyndell Campbell is there for you. Call 641-673-4462 today for the service you deserve.
And in week 7, the Oskaloosa Indians got on the bus and traveled the long distance down to Keokuk. Keokuk coming off a win the previous week to the previous number 1 rated 3A team Washington. Oski was in control of second position in the district and looking to control their own destiny. They win out and they are in the playoffs. The Indian defense held the Chiefs on a 3-and-out in the first possession of the game, and the Oski offense went to work, and work they did, as a football game was scheduled, but it seemed like a track meet broke out. Ethan Arnold orchestrated an 11-play drive, culminating in a 26-yard touchdown pass to Bennett Spry. Bennett looking forward to having a big night on the gridiron. After another 3-and-out by the Keokuk offense, Arnold again went to the air and connected with Blake Alsop for an 18-yard score. And Spry intercepted a pass on the next Keokuk possession, and Arnold found Jared Cruz for his 3rd touchdown of the night passing. The Indians led 21-0 early into the second quarter. Keokuk finally got onto the board with a long kick return, and 2 plays later the score brought the score to 21-7. Celebration didn't last long, though, as Jack Moore took the first play after the possession turnover from Arnold 80 yards to the house and pushed the lead back to 21 points for the Oskaloosa Indians. Bennett Spry took the next kick from Keokuk and took it 73 yards to the house and extended it to a 35-7 lead in the second quarter. And Ethan Kelderman was not to be denied as he got on the board as well with a passing touchdown and taking it into halftime 42-7. Late in the second quarter, Arnold called it his own number, 25-yard rushing touchdown, took it into the locker room at halftime, 48-13. And then on the first possession of the second half, Arnold hooked up with Spry again on a 50-yard touchdown pass. Arnold broke the record for school passing touchdowns. It seems like between Aaron Blom, the kicker, and then now Ethan Arnold at quarterback, breaking all sorts of school records this year with that new offense. His 6th touchdown pass of the evening. Tanner DeCock wrapped up the scoring with a 10-yard rushing run, and they took the long ride back home, sitting in the sole possession of second place in the Class 3A district, and took a 61-13 victory over the Chiefs. Some offensive leaders for the Oskaloosa Indians. Ethan Arnold, 14 for 17 for 337 yards. Kind of pales in comparison to the 424 yards he had at homecoming, but the 6 passing touchdowns, a new Oski Indian record. 42 yards rushing on 10 rushes for Ethan Arnold. Blake Alsop, 9 rushes for 53 yards. And I've got a whole host of receiving leaders here, as about every Oskaloosa Indian receiver got into the action. Blake Alsop, 2 receptions, 20 yards, a touchdown. Tanner DeCock, 2 receptions, 19 yards. Ethan Kelderman, 3 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown. The long touchdown for Ethan, 62-yard touchdown. Jared Cruz, 2 receptions for 29 yards and a touchdown. Jack Moore, 2 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown. Bennett Spry, 3 receptions, 84 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the night through the air. And Jaden Van Rukel, 1 reception for 28 yards. On the defensive side of the ball, Jack Moore, 6 tackles. Vincent Ramirez and Jared Cruz with 5 tackles apiece. And Bennett Spry, 2 interceptions on the defensive side, as the Oskaloosa Indian defense has been very stingy so far here this year and not allowed very many points here in the last couple of weeks. The star of the night, Bennett Spry, 3 total touchdowns, 2 through the air and 1 kick return, as again, the football game was scheduled, but a track meet did break out. It seemed like every play that the Oskaloosa Indians scored on was a long play from scrimmage. The Oskaloosa Indians look to return home back to Lacey Complex, the friendly confines, as they welcome the previous number 1 Class 3A in the Washington Demons. They'll end 2 home games as well, Washington this week, and then end the season with Burlington Notre Dame right here in Oskaloosa. Win and they're in the district's 2nd place sole possession for the Oskaloosa Indians. We'll take a quick break and we'll take a look at what happened between the Montezuma Braves and the North Mahaska Warhawks as the Warhawks got back onto the gridiron for week number 7 of Friday Night Lights. You're listening to the State Farm Football Update on Oski News.
Well, I love it.
I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
Is it suede?
Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it.
Is it suede?
It's suede.
I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Wyndell Campbell in Oskaloosa today.
The North Mahaska Warhawks, after a week off, welcomed the Montezuma Braves back to town on their last home game of the season. Senior night saw the Warhawks get back to Class A District 6 action, and Monty's defense made its presence known very, very early in this one. As second play of the game, the Montezuma defense knocked out quarterback Ben Sherburne. He was able to get back to his feet and was helped off the field, taken to a local hospital for observation of possible concussion symptoms. The Warhawks were unable to really get anything going all night as the Braves jumped on the back of senior running back Carson Lozier, Jordan Bender, a junior, and sophomore Jaden Probosco, as those three individuals from Montezuma did the majority of the scoring. Warhawks defense did play resilient, though. They did have a couple of fumbles that they took away from Monty. Just the offense unable to really sustain any sort of momentum through the night of that stingy Montezuma Brave defense. Montezuma sits as the odd man out right now and really kind of tied up in that second position with New London in that Class A District 6 as they dropped a game earlier this season to New London from a head-to-head standpoint. What really comes down to the final game of the season here in a couple weeks for Montezuma is they will be playing the Linville-Sully Hawks. If for some reason, or if they are able to beat Linville-Sully, they could possibly be a three-way tie for the top of that Class A District 6, and then it'll go to a point differential. Again, this is the first year in the Iowa playoffs. Only two teams from the district will make the playoffs, with a couple of at-large positions being awarded. So Montezuma hoping to control their own destiny. They went out and get a very good chance of getting in and possibly getting that at-large bid. North Mahaska goes on the road this week. Me and Cousin Ed on KIIC.5 will be on the road to Winfield Mount Union as the North Mahaska Warhawks take the long bus ride down there. They'll end their season with 2 games on the road. Week number 8 will be at Winfield Mount Union and then at Cardinal of Eldon to wrap up this 2016 season. That's all the scores, or we'll take a look at all the scores from the area. Just give you an idea of what happened. Burlington Greyhounds, the Ottumwa Bulldogs, went on the road, still looking for their first win on the season. They dropped a game to the Burlington Greyhounds, 21-10. The Pekin Panthers in Class A District 6, they beat the Winfield Mount Union Wolves at home, 43-6. The Pleasantville Trojans 20, Pella Christian Eagles 56. Pella Christian, I'm going to say it again, I've said it before, that Class 1A is going to come down to Iowa City Regina and the Pella Christian Eagles, and you put either one of those two teams on a neutral field and anything could happen. The Pella Dutch 38, Norwalk Warriors 0, a game that was hyped up all week long, probably going to be the only challenge of the year so far in the regular seasons for the Pella Dutch. Pella Dutch control this one all the way, and this game was at Norwalk, so 38-0. Centerville Big Reds go on the road to Albion and take one 35-14 in district play. The PCM Mustangs 49 on the road at Eddyville Blakesburg Fremont. The Eddyville Rockets 0, 49-0. PCM sitting in the lone possession of first place in that district there as well. Davis County Mustangs 33, the Sheraton Chargers 16. The Knoxville Panthers went on the road to North Polk and came away with a loss. The North Polk Comets taking it 44-27. Moravia Mohawks in 8-man action 73, the Tri-County Trojans 14, as Moravia sits in, I believe, second place in that district and looks to continue their season through the playoffs. Twin Cedars Sabres continue to absolutely roll as they beat the Meskwaki Settlement Warriors 64-20, and Coach Aaron Osbon, the Twin Cedars Sabres, playing very good football right now in 8-man action. Wayne Falcons and the Mormon Trail Saints, that was a forfeited game. The Wayne Falcons got the victory there. The Fairfield Trojans 41, the Fort Madison Bloodhounds 0, that game in the same district as Oskaloosa. Sigourney Kyoto Cobras 55, Louisa Mustang Falcons 12, and the Sigourney Kyoto Cobras, not to be denied, another 1A school. They're going to be in the mix with that Iowa City Regina Pella Christian team, so we'll look to see what who they draw for their first round of the playoffs. And again, the last two here, Oskaloosa Indians take one 61-13 over the Keokuk Chiefs, and the Montezuma Braves take one over the North Mahaska Warhawks 41-0. That's a wrap-up of all the Week 7 action from around the area. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with what's getting ready to happen in Week 8. You're watching the State Farm Sports Update on Oski News.
For all your insurance and financial service needs, call your State Farm agent Wyndell Campbell in Oskaloosa today.
And welcome back as we take a look at week number 8 of Friday Night Lights. Get ready to see what's happening in the area. Oskaloosa, again, at home as they welcome the Washington Demons. Washington Demons suffering a big loss on the offensive side of the ball as they are going to be missing their quarterback for the remainder of the season. Oskaloosa sits in sole second position of the district. Winning they're in, trying to get that second spot of the district right behind the Solon team. North Mahaska will be on the road at Winfield Mount Union. We'll have that game for you on KIIC.5. Me and Cousin Ed will call you every down, every score, every field goal from that one. Look at what else is going on in the area. Albion will be on the road at Sheraton. Again, this is the next to last week of districts in Iowa. Davis County on the road at PCM. PCM playing very good football right now, and PCM sitting alone at the top of that district's that district seedings. Centerville will be at home against Central Lee. Eddyville will be on the road at Clark. They'll be down the road at Osceola. Ottumwa will be at home as they welcome Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Again, the Ottumwa Bulldogs looking for their first victory of the season. Pella will be at home against North Polk. Their last home game probably be senior night over at Pella for the Little Dutch. Pella Christian on the road at Central Decatur as they look to continue rolling through their schedule as they sit at 7-0 on the year. Sigourney will be on the road at Wapello. Sigourney, again, the lone loss so far coming from Iowa City Regina as they sit at second place in that district as well. Wayne and 8-man will be on the road at Murray. Moravia will be at home against Colonesco. Colonesco, the Royals, a playoff team from a year ago. Melcher Dallas will be on the road at HLV. HLV, a good team up out of Victor that's playing some good 8-man football right now as well. Montezuma will be at home against Cardinal as they look to solidify that second position in their district, as it's kind of a cluster right there in the middle with them and New London, and they will end their season at Linville Sully, so they're trying to get into the playoffs this year. Southeast Warren will be on the road at Southwest Valley. Twin Cedars, the Sabres, will be at Seymour. Coach Aaron Ospaw and the Sabres looking to continue rolling through their schedule as well. Tri-County Trojans at Meskwaki Settlement, just north of us here. Seymour will be at home against Twin Cedars, and the Pekin Panthers will be at Lone Tree, it looks like, here to end their next to last week of the season. That's what's getting ready to happen for Week 8. You're watching the State Farm Sports Update. Hope you've enjoyed what we brought to you. We will come back with wrapping up Week 8, looking forward to Week 9, the last week of the regular season, and then we'll hopefully get an idea of what the playoff picture is going to look like here in South Central Iowa. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your good neighbor, State Farm Agent Wyndell Campbell out of Oskaloosa. You've been watching the State Farm Football Update on Oski News.